if we can have schools that are a little bit larger. And in
Is
fact,
Wright Elementary on the list then to be closed?
I'm sorry?
Is Wright Elementary on the list to be
Wright
closed?
and Arnett are ones that we are looking at down the road for consolidation. That's exactly right. I will tell you that with Roberts and Centennial, this kind of goes also to your question, sir. Roberts and Centennial are our newest schools, and they also have about 600, 650 students in them. And you'll see there, and it's just their newer systems, newer, functioning. The air conditioning system's more efficient, the lighting's more efficient, and it only costs us about $4,000 per student to educate a child at those two newer schools. So you can see those numbers really add up over time, and that's why it's compelling for us to address these issues, although it's very difficult. I tell people the easiest thing in the world for us to do is nothing. It's just not responsible. We've got to make some of these hard decisions about some of our small elementary schools. I'm going to turn the program now over to our co-chairs of our 2020 Facility Committee. I know we have a couple questions. As they come up, I'll answer your questions. Let me introduce them real quick. We have Laura Vincent, who's a co-chair, one of our co-chairs, and Mitch Watson. I don't know that Laura's going to be able to talk so much because she's not under the weather just a little bit tonight. And then we have Tim Collins also here from our committee. And you want to hold your questions till the end, or you want me to answer them right now?
I'm going to ask how much of this money is in education and how much is in sports? I realize it's Texas, and I realize I'm walking on hallowed ground. But this I do know. I have a son, a foster son in Ireland. They have some of the highest education scores in the world. Their sports are out of sports clubs and not included in education. As an ex-superintendent secretary, I realize how much is spent in sports compared to how much is spent in education. And I'm really appreciative.
Well, they're going to get to a little bit about what's in the proposal. And so they'll talk specifically about how much is in there for athletics. But I'll tell you this, that we have athletic facilities. And at some point, we have to make a determination whether or not we've got to take care of them. And we offer those programs for kids. We still have to have we have to have the facilities. We have tracks with big chunks.
You can have private clubs and they can do great. The boy that lived with me held the 800 record in all of Europe for 10 years. Never got it in school, but he did. He could do this and add 4, 5, 6 rows of columns in a math problem and have the answer instantly. And I saw what he had and what my children got after high school.
And I do believe that maybe one of these days that'll happen. That's been talked about in Texas, the United States, and one of these days it may happen where athletics and fine arts are outside the school day. There's no doubt about that. But right now, for a lot of kids, that's why they come to school. In terms of at-risk kids, fine arts and athletics, oftentimes are what bring them to school every day.
Dr. Garza, let me ask just a quick minute. I want to ask everybody to kind of maybe hold their questions for a few minutes and let the 2020 group get through their piece, and I think you're going to address some of those questions.
Yes, I think we will.
We're going to
Thank
ask
you.
you. We'll give you a chance to ask as soon as they're done.
Thank you guys very much. Once again, my name is Mitch Watson. I, along with Laura Vincent, who normally does this part of the presentation, but she's under the weather. Sounds like a cat's caught in her throat. You don't want to hear her talk, so I'm going to kind of wing her part, and then I'll kind of catch up on my part as well. The charge we were given from the district and the superintendent and the board of trustees was to basically, change the presentation. Change it on me too the same day. The charge we were given as a committee was, the citizens group was convened, about 27 of us that come from all different walks of life and all different parts of the school district, to identify some key areas in long-range planning for the district and to help them with a long-range facilities plan. The 3 goals that we had in mind as a committee were, number 1, academic effectiveness, very much what we spoke about. Operational efficiency. We do have these facilities. We do have these athletic venues. We need to maintain our facilities to reinvest back in our community and maintain a competitive advantage in the classroom, and if we had the athletic facilities on the athletic field. Dr. Garza touched on some of the points about why kids come to school, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But those are our three main charges. And as a citizen committee of taxpayers, our overriding concern, and one of the main things we focused on, was identifying district needs, not wants. And so as we go through the data, we'll share with you, keep that in the back of your mind. We as a group really vetted out a lot of things and a lot of ideas and a lot of wish list items to get down to what the district needs were, not wants. As we look into what we came up with, and I'm going to switch over to the new and improved version. We got 53% roughly fell into what we call school and academic improvements, and I'm going to break this down for you in the next few slides. We had arts and athletics for 23%, technology at 13%, and safety and security at 11%. When we dig a little deeper into this, and this is all phase one, mind you, phase one of the bond that we recommended tomorrow is what we feel like are the most dire needs, the pressing needs today. There will be a phase two, a phase three, a phase four, a phase 15 if we continue to have a school district and continue to have an LISD. So there will always be needs in the district. As we look at the capital improvements and the things that we needed to really focus on, we have a lot of great information provided for us by Sodexo and Park Hill, Smith and Cooper. We were people from various parts of the community that were not engineers, were not architects. Some of them on the committee were. But basically what Park Hill, Smith and Cooper did is went through all the facilities and went through system by system, whether it's electrical, plumbing, HVAC, and identified what the needs were, what the useful lives of these systems were, and had these useful lives been exceeded. And if any of you have been in the district recently or been to children's events, I mean, I, with 3 kids in the district, can tell you on a daily basis, I'm in one of the facilities. There are needs. As recent as Thursday's open house at Murphy Elementary when the HVAC wasn't working for 300 plus kids and their families. Those needs are evident. As we walk through capital improvements, HVAC, lighting, in several of the classrooms, you can see the lighting opportunities, I said, that exist that need to be upgraded. Restrooms, roofing, water, sewer, parking lots, those are the main capital improvements in the school and academic. Elementary schools, we are looking at proposing 2 new schools to replace 4 old schools, and we'll get into the economics of that here in another slide. 2 renovations as well as 1 expansion for the elementary schools. Middle school renovations, we've got 3 renovations that are actually named, Old Slate and Hutch, and then a 3rd one to be determined later. 2 high school renovations as well, and we say renovations, we're talking about paint, tile, carpet. Several of our institutions and our facilities have original carpet, have original tile. In a building like Lubbock High that was built at a time when building codes were so good, you can't create a Lubbock High today. That was a very strong, well-made facility. We have other facilities that were made after that, and the building systems and structures and processes were nowhere near. The construction was not near that good. You look at houses that were built in the 50s, and they're very different from houses built in the 70s and 80s as far as quality. And so we deal with that in a lot of the facilities. The Talking expansion also, as well, as an additional to accommodate an extra for the 6th through 12th grade configuration as we continue to add grades in that school, as well as proven to be a very effective teaching environment over there as well. That is the school and academic improvements. Arts and athletics, one thing that we have when we bring kids into our district, and this happened as recent, it was 2 weeks ago. When people move to Lubbock, they go and tour campuses. They tour facilities today at the elementary and middle school level, much like people used to tour colleges, and they go interview principals, and they walk through facilities. And I can tell you this, if you walk through one of our middle school locker rooms today, your child probably will not go there. That's the reality. I went to Athens 25 years ago. I've been in that facility since. It hasn't changed since, and I thought it was old then. I challenge anybody in this room to go to the O.L. Slate locker room, and I think I've got a pretty strong gut. My gag reflex went off. It's not a place I want my kid to spend their middle school time. So when we look at the athletics and arts, there's tremendous opportunities to add to the value of our children's education. Elementary school playgrounds. When people come to Lubbock and look in elementary school, the question is asked time and time again, where are the playgrounds? Other competitive school districts in our neighborhood, and I won't name by name, but you know who they are, they have playgrounds, they have nice facilities, so we feel that's important. Middle school athletics, we're adding 4-lane tracks to middle schools that can be used as